Good day, class. In this presentation, we will explore literary forms as part of art. Literature is considered an art form because it uses language creatively to express ideas, emotions, culture, and human experience. Each literary form has its own structure, purpose, and artistic function, contributing to how meaning is created and communicated. To begin, literary works are recognized as forms of art because they transform language into a medium of expression. Through words, writers represent reality, imagination, and human emotion in meaningful ways. As we move forward, we will examine specific literary forms and understand how each functions artistically. Let us start with poetry. A poem is a literary form that uses rhythm, imagery, figurative language, and sound devices to express ideas and emotions in a condensed and artistic manner. For example, in Emily Dickinson's line, "Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me," death is personified, allowing the poet to explore mortality symbolically. This use of metaphor and imagery demonstrates poetry's power as an art form. Moving on, we have the novel. A novel is a long narrative work of fiction that explores complex characters, themes, and social realities through extended prose. In Animal Farm by George Orwell, the line, "All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others," uses allegory to critique political systems. This shows how novels function as artistic tools for social reflection and critique. Next is the short story. A short story is a brief fictional narrative that focuses on a single event, character, or theme, often aiming for a strong emotional or moral impact. In Catherine Mansfield's The Garden Party, the line, "He had never looked at the world in this way before," highlights a moment of realization. The concise structure emphasizes depth and meaning, making the short story a powerful artistic form. Another important literary form is the song, where lyrics function as poetry set to music. Songs often convey emotions, narratives, and social messages through symbolic and figurative language. In Bob Dylan's Blowin' in the Wind, the line, "How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man?" uses rhetorical questions to express social and moral concerns. This demonstrates how song lyrics qualify as both literary and artistic texts. We now turn to drama, also known as a play. Drama is a literary form written to be performed, using dialogue and action to present conflict, character, and theme. In Shakespeare's Hamlet, the line, "To be, or not to be? That is the question," captures existential doubt through a soliloquy. This blend of language and performance highlights drama as a unique artistic form. Next is the epic. An epic is a long narrative poem that recounts the heroic deeds of legendary figures, often reflecting the values of a culture. In Homer's The Iliad, the opening line, "Sing, O goddess, of the rage of Achilles," invokes divine inspiration and heroism. This illustrates how epics preserve cultural identity through literary art. Closely related to epics are myths. A myth is a traditional narrative that explains natural phenomena, human behavior, or cultural beliefs, often involving gods or supernatural beings. For instance, the story of Persephone explains the changing seasons in Greek mythology. Through symbolism and storytelling, myths function as artistic expressions of belief and tradition. Another literary form is the folktale. A folktale is a story passed down orally that reflects cultural traditions, morals, and communal wisdom. An example is the Philippine folktale The Monkey and the Turtle. The story uses symbolism and moral lessons, demonstrating how literature serves as cultural and artistic heritage. Similar to folktales, fables are short narratives that convey a clear moral lesson, often using animals as characters. In Aesop's The Tortoise and the Hare, the moral, "Slow and steady wins the race," teaches perseverance through symbolic storytelling. This artistic use of animals highlights human traits and values. We also recognize the literary essay as an art form. A literary essay expresses personal insight, interpretation, or argument using reflective and artistic language. In Ralph Ellison's line, "I am invisible, understand, simply because people refuse to see me," personal voice is blended with social commentary. This shows how essays can be both intellectual and artistic. Another contemporary literary form is spoken word or performance poetry. This form emphasizes voice, rhythm, emotion, and performance. In Maya Angelou's Still I Rise, the line, "You may shoot me with your words," gains power through delivery and emotion. The performance element intensifies the artistic impact of the text. To conclude, literary forms are artistic expressions of human experience. Through language, writers and artists transform thoughts, emotions, and realities into enduring works of art. Literature, in all its forms, continues to shape culture, inspire reflection, and communicate meaning across time. Question? Thank you for